Folks, did they actually really believe this would work? I'll tell you what I mean and then get into the latest home prices and insights for the Peel and Durham region for week ending January 22nd, 2025. We're looking at homes with one of our buyer clients, and we saw this home that was priced at about 1.7. But the history is that this home's been on the market overall through multiple times it was listed, around 100 days, so a little over 3 months. And each time the home was relisted, it was with a different price, about $2,000 less than the previous listing. So in 5 listings over 100 days, the home has been reduced from its 1.7 approximately, if it's 1699, 1698, it's about 1.7 million. Price has been reduced 5 times by around $2,000 to overall about $10,000 off the original price. We happen to see the home on its last price reduction at its highest price reduction of $10,000. And shortly after that, the home was relisted to its original price. The agent did call me, the listing agent, to see if there was any interest. And I said, well, what's going on here? I kind of told him what I was seeing, and the agent knew because the agent was the one doing it, and said to me, forget about all those price reductions. Where we are now, that's what the seller wants. He's not going to entertain anything lower than what he's listed at. Look, the seller can take whatever number they want. Seller can do whatever they want there. Doesn't mean they're going to be successful in selling it. But it's really the reason I'm talking about this is what I find to be the silliness in dropping just $2,000 on a $1.7 million home. Look, if that was the only reason somebody wasn't buying that property because 1.7 just was too much, but 1695 would be the number it would sell, well, look, somebody would have put in an offer and bought the home already. So if it's not selling at 1.7, I'm pretty confident in saying that the margin that home needs to be reduced at is far more than $10,000. But there's sellers, I don't know if they're getting consultation from their realtors, but these are just silly games. That's not going to help you to sell your home. Think about it, $2,000. What's changed other than there's a new listing, it's $2,000 lower? It doesn't really materially change anything in that listing. Yet the seller thought they were being smarter than everybody else and trying to trick all the buyers. Now it's a little bit cheaper, so let's rush in and buy it. Well, it didn't happen. The property has not sold yet, and the seller is their prerogative. They could stick to whatever price they want. But, if you're on the market, my advice is this: price it properly, market it properly, professionally, really market your home. So just putting a listing on MLS is not good enough these days. And get professional consultation with a good professional realtor. If you think this video can help somebody please pass it along. If you get value from what we're talking about, subscribe. And if you want to speak with me about your real estate situation, selling, buying, it's really simple. There's a link to my calendar below this video in the description. Click on that, book a time that's convenient for you, and we'll talk about whatever's on your mind. Now, let's get into the numbers. Here we go, folks. Peel and Durham regions. We're going to be focused on the sales and volumes activity for detached properties only, for Mississauga, for Brampton. And for Peel region, I'm using Pickering, Ajax, and Whitby as my Durham sample. Here are average sold prices. I've got 3 months on the board here. Usually Brampton and Durham are pretty similar. Mississauga is at the top of the list when it comes to average sold price compared to Brampton and Durham, much higher. And right now, for week ending January 22nd, the difference in the lowest average sold price, which is Brampton, and the highest, which is Mississauga, the difference is $408,000 in the average sold price for detached properties. $408,000. It's a big difference. We're going to start off with Mississauga for week ending January 22nd. 24 detached properties were sold, which is the same as the previous week, and 5 sold at $2 million or more. Average sold price is 1.5, sorry, there's a glare there, 1.510 is the average sold price, 1,510,000. And when we look across the year, 1.510 is one of the higher average sold prices that we've seen across the year or during this past year. 1.510 is 1% higher than where the average sold price was for the same week a year ago. The median price of 1.4 million is 1% lower. And of the 24 that sold, 8 of them, a third, sold at list price or more. Listings came down from the previous week. Now, we would expect listings to be increasing as we, come out of the holiday season, and now we're into the third and fourth week of January. It's a bit weird, actually. Almost across the board in every region, we saw listings come down from the previous week. They were increasing, and now for this 1 week, they've come down. It's happened everywhere. It's really interesting to see. So 63 detached properties were listed in Mississauga. Active listings is still increasing. Not by much, but a little bit more properties available for sale sitting out on the market. Months of inventory, same as it was the previous week at 3.9 months of inventory. Average days on market, and this is listings days on market, not property, but average days on market is 49. Here's Brampton. 40 detached properties were sold for week ending January 22nd. No properties sold at $2 million or more, and 40s a little bit higher than what we've seen the previous couple weeks. Average sold price is $1,102,000. And if we draw a line across, we get the opposite situation that we saw in Mississauga. In Mississauga that I just showed, average sold price for this week that we're talking about, much higher than we've seen for a good part of the year. Well, $1,102,000 for Brampton is one of the lower average sold prices that we've seen when we look back across the year. 1,112 is 8% lower than where we were this time a year ago. The median price of $1,066,000 is 6% lower. 40 were sold. 9 of those, 23%, sold at list price or more. Listings down a little bit from the previous week. We're seeing this almost everywhere across the GTA right now. Active listings, though, is increasing slightly, and months of inventory sitting at 3.5 months of inventory. Here's Durham region. I remind you, I'm using Pickering, Ajax, and Whitby as my Durham sample. 28 detached properties were sold. 2 of those were at $2 million or more. Average sold price, $1,135,000. It's pretty similar to where it's hanging out over the last 2-3 weeks. 1,135 is 1% higher than where the average price was a year ago. The median price is 8% lower. Median price is $991,000. 28 were sold. 10 of those, or 36%, sold at list price or more. Listings down a little bit from the previous week, but active listings is climbing, and months of inventory up a little bit, sitting at 2.4 months of inventory. And if we look back pre-holiday season, 2.4 is kind of where we were for a good part of November. Here's a quick summary of months of inventory. 3.9 for Mississauga, Brampton 3.5, Ajax, Pickering, Whitby 2.4. I think pretty much you're gonna experience a balanced market when it comes to buying or selling any of these detached properties across Mississauga, Brampton. Durham is going to be a little bit more competitive depending on the price point and what you're looking for. Could be more of the kind of the top end of a seller's market or the bottom end of a balanced market. Thanks for watching. Have an awesome day.